Hello, Blackhawks Nation. Welcome to Blackhawks Daily, your favorite recap of the daily buzz around your Chicago Blackhawks. I'm your host, PJ. So let's get into the top 4 topics of today. So it could be a pipe dream, but it's worth mentioning that there's some chatter out there about a Mr. Jordan Kyrou of the St. Louis Blues and about how he's been open to a trade. And one of the places that he might want to end up over here, Chi-Town, on the Hawks. So now he's got a no trade clause, but there's some speculation that he's willing to waive it. So he's not cheap. So for the Blues, he's not easy to move. He's going to be a $8.125 million cap hit. But the Hawks have one of the largest cap spaces available. So also, like St. Louis GM Doug Armstrong, can use Kyrou being off the rolls to sign some younger players, get them in the mix. And for him, even though the trade would be inside the division, it's not, he's probably not fearing the Hawks being an instant rival or instant contender for a while anyways. So, no skin off his back. Kyrou's heading into his 27th year of life. So he's basically just hitting his prime. I wish I was hitting my 27th year of life. He is a former 35th overall pick. He was picked in the second round. He is 6'1", 196 pounds. He's a right winger. He shoots right. Last year he had 36 goals, 34 assists, 70 points. He had a plus-minus of plus 23. He hasn't missed a game in 2 years. He had 239 shots on goal last year. So would he make us a championship contender overnight? No. He's ranked as the 64th best forward in fantasy hockey. So would he be a great step forward for us? Sure. Absolutely. Safe to say that. Could he be the veteran, that former NHL All-Star presence that we need on the roster to help Bedard in his development and to help him along? 1,000%. So let's just hope this pipe dream comes true. I would love to see this guy on the roster. I think it would be awesome. It would, I don't know. It would probably mess up our chances for getting the top pick next year, but who knows? What do you guys think? Should we get him? Should we not get him? Let me know. All right. Following on to that, let's talk about fantasy. I do love fantasy hockey. I love it a lot. This year for the Hawks, it's going to be a little rough. I mentioned that Kyrou is ranked 64th best forward. He would be fantastic for us because Bedard is ranked 57th. And there is no other Chicago Blackhawk on the top 100. And the next closest one would be Ryan Donato, and he's at 128. So that's brutal. And that is all forwards. We do have one D-man in the top 50. That would be Mr. Sam Renzel coming in at 43rd. And then we also have an honorable mention, Artyom Levshinov. And then when it comes to goalies, we don't have any in the top 25, and we only have an honorable mention, and that would be Mr. Spencer Knight. So I don't know if you've seen that particular episode of Blackhawks Daily, but many episodes ago, I had made the mention that I would be willing to be goalie. So Davidson, Blashill, if you guys are watching, I'll say this again, put me in pads, lay me out there. My payment is in beer. So if I can drink enough beer to actually make a dent on the salary cap, I'd probably be dead. So, hey, but put me out there. I can wave my arm. I'm always willing to try. I could be in the top 25. You never know. All right. Talk about pipe dreams. All right. Moving on from there. The Athletic just put out a list of the very best and worst sweaters of each and every team. So there's a lot to go through. We kind of talked about, which sweaters are good, which sweaters are not. We talked about how the Hawks have the best sweater in all of hockey. They probably have the best uniform and jersey in all of sports, if we're being honest. And we talked about our love for that. We also talked about some others that were honorable mentions. I mentioned Montreal and Hartford. Some people love Montreal. Some people mentioned the Maple Leafs. Someone mentioned the Nordiques, right? Some really great old school jerseys that are in there that we really like. But this athletic article, best and worst of all the teams, right? So there's way too many to go through. And we have talked about our favorites, but we really haven't talked about the ones we don't like. So for me personally, I'm just going to put it out there. I think the ugliest jersey ever was the Vancouver black, yellow, and orange ones. And I just remember seeing those, not understanding why you would dress like that. I always felt badly for Pavel Bure because he had to wear those. The Russian Rocket was unbelievably talented, and he still looked like an idiot. So I felt bad for him. I felt bad for Vancouver. Well, not really that much because I hated Vancouver, but still, I just felt bad for him because they had to wear those jerseys. So, what are your least favorite ones? Actually, I also don't like the New Jersey Christmas tree, red and green. I mean, I get Jersey's the Garden State, but you don't need the green. Why? But anyway, I would love to hear your takes on that. So let me hear them. And speaking of takes, let's get to the old hot takes. So I want to address this again. So we PHH, DVM, as well as Mr. Caution, both had kind of commented about how the thumbnail on the video doesn't match the video. So again, I'm recording these the day before. The company that we're working with is helping us push this out. They're doing the thumbnails. They're doing the social media strategy and all this. It is a very slow off season. It's a very dead off season. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to gain as much momentum as we can going into the 100th year of fandom and love for the Chicago Blackhawks. So a lot of times these thumbnails, they're not really matching the videos, and I'm really sorry about that. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of it, but I will say I do appreciate you coming, and I do appreciate you clicking in and you adding to it, and that you're lending your comments and you're lending your thoughts and your expertise, and you guys add so much to the channel. I really do appreciate it. So I hope that when you're done watching the videos, you come away with at least a little tidbit of something, a little bit of knowledge. At least you had a laugh. At least you're entertained. Something. So I hope that there was some benefit through it all. So that's my hope for you. Lord knows I'm learning a lot from you. So I do really appreciate that. Rick EW1IW said, I don't believe you can get CHSN over the air antenna anymore. And you're wrong, but you're also right. So it's still active in Indianapolis, Milwaukee, Grand Rapids, Des Moines, Cedar Rapids, Sioux City, Iowa. Okay, who cares about all that? I was under the impression it was still around in Chicagoland. I looked at something I guess was a little bit older. Since like the middle of June, CHSN has not, it's been sunset in most of the Chicagoland area, as well as like Champaign, South Bend, Davenport, Iowa, Fort Wayne, Peoria, Rockford, Quincy. So basically Illinois has been shut out of CHSN, and they're trying to funnel everyone into streaming or Comcast. So you can still get on Comcast. You can on their most premium package. You can get on DirecTV Stream, AT&T Uverse, I forgot to mention them before, Fubo, RCN Astound. You can also get them on chsn.com, directly on the website. You can get their mobile apps on iOS and Android, and then the TV connected apps, which is Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Samsung TV. So all of those are paid. So I thought we were going to be able to get it over the air. You're not anymore. So Mr. Rick, thank you for correcting me on that. You are absolutely correct. Peter Olbrich 8970 says, pray for a point a game that first game. Or sorry, pray for a point that first game. That alone would be something. You know what? You're very true. I want to win. I would love a win, but a point would be very satisfying as well. So you're being very measured and very realistic. I'm a Hawks fan. I'm a Chicago fan. I tend to always think that we're going to win every game 900-0. So, but I get it. So I appreciate that, sir. Gerald S. 5834 says, as a big hockey fan, the Hawks, as my favorite team, have been painful to follow. And as all the talking heads, included our GM, are painful. A lot of talking about all the young talent, but still no results, as wins are what matters, not talk. Yeah. I mean, absolutely, Gerald. You can't argue against that. We're hoping, but I mean, even looking at the rankings of players and fantasy hockey leagues and everything, that was a little bit depressing going into that. So, I hear you, man. I hear you. And Chicago Turntablism, still love that name, said they landed a deal with Comcast too, I heard, on their best package. So yes, you are correct, sir. They are on Comcast. I think it's channel 200. So anyway, that's it for today. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for being a part of. Oh no, I'm sorry. One more. Tom Filippiak 3511 said, did Comcast get a deal to carry Blackhawks? Yes, they are. They're on Comcast this year. So we're good. All right. Thank you, Tom. Sorry about that. This is all over the place today. So that is a wrap, folks. So thank you so much. Keep coming in with your comments. Keep letting us know about your thoughts. Let me know about Kyrou, and if you think that's a good move, let me know what you think your most hated jersey that you've seen. Could be a practice jersey, could be a third alternate jersey, could be one for the Winter Classic. It doesn't matter. Just let me know what your thoughts are. That'd be fun to get your thoughts. And please keep tuning in. I really do appreciate it. I am sorry about the, some people feel it might be like clickbait with the thumbnails, but we're just trying to gain momentum, guys. And we're just trying to get to the season where we're going to have so much to talk about. So I appreciate you hanging in, and I really appreciate your support. Please keep checking in every day. Press all your friends and neighbors, which you always do. And while you're at it, please like and subscribe and share about the channel. I really do appreciate it as well. That's it for today, guys. I'm PJ, and I'll see you next time on